Hello my friends, and welcome to Paulina Art. Today I bring you a little bit of a different video. This is not going to be a painting tutorial. I'm going to be doing this painting while I share with you one of the situations where someone tried to scam me with this elaborated scam. Unfortunately, there's a lot of scammers in the internet nowadays, and they have also infiltrated into the art community. And I think awareness and knowledge are really important to protect ourselves from being scammed. If you would like to see how I created this painting and hearing my story, stay with me and let's paint together. As I mentioned in the introduction, this is not going to be a tutorial. However, I'm going to do the steps that I normally do. If you want to see a video with more instruction, I'm going to link it up here somewhere. But this is basically the same steps. So I'm going to start by dividing my canvas in 4 equal parts so I can do my drawing easily. But this video is not going to be about a painting tutorial. It's going to be about my experience with a scammer. I've had scammers contact me through many different social media platforms, through LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, through my email. And to me, it's pretty obvious that it's a scam most of the time. But this scam was a little bit more sophisticated, if you can call it that way. To me, scammers are not sophisticated at all, and their scams are pretty obvious. They're just astute people that prey on the vulnerabilities of others. But in this particular time, they went through a lot of work to try to scam me, for sure. So what happened is I received an email from this man, supposedly. I really don't know who they were, but anyway, supposedly this businessman who had a variety of different businesses, and he was interested in the arts as well. And basically he contacted me and said that he was interested in hiring me as an artist. He had this online art school, and he was looking for teachers to do online classes for his students he had online. It was one of his many businesses. And if I was interested on being one of the teachers. Now, I thought that was strange right away, because my YouTube channel is not big. My tutorials are pretty much for beginner to intermediate. There's nothing fancy about my channel. And I thought, well, wouldn't he want like someone who's more like a fine art teacher? And I said that to him. This was all via email. I said, well, why are you interested in me? And he said, well, I said, my YouTube channel is small. Don't you want someone with a bigger following? And I don't know. Some red flags went right away. Okay, so the face is here. What I'm going to do now is the underpainting. This is Liquitex Basics in Raw Amber. This is what I'm going to use for the underpainting. And I'm going to use a small flat brush. Anyways, he said, no, he said, we're looking for different variety of art teachers. We have different levels of students, and I think you're gonna fit really well. What you teach, we like your YouTube channel, what you teach, blah, 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 blah. And he said, I would like to set up an interview with you, and we can discuss. So I thought, oh, sure, let's do that. So we had a Zoom interview. And this, what year was this? 2020. I think it happened in 2020. In the summer of 2020, I believe that was. And so we set up a time for a Zoom call. And he said one of his associates was going to conduct the interview. He wasn't going to be there. So I thought, okay, fine. And in the meantime, I did do some research, and it appeared that the name was valid and that there were some businesses to this person's name. But anyways, I had a few red flags, to say the least. So we set up an interview, and the associate that interviewed me was this lovely young girl. Don't remember her name. And she was very nice, and she explained me about the company and how they had different courses for different levels, and that they saw my YouTube channel. There were a lot of things they like about the channel, and da-da-da-da-da. So I thought, oh, okay. And but some things just didn't seem right. She told me that the salary that they were going to pay me was minimum $9,000 a month, but most likely it'd be about $14,000 a month. I mean, I don't know where you live, what kind of salary that is, but here where I live in Canada, in the province of Alberta, that is a huge salary. I mean, the average salary here is probably $4,000, between $4,000 and $5,000. And that includes doctors, CEOs, people that make really good money, because the average person does not make that kind of money here. Maybe $2,000-$3,000. So minimum $9,000 a month was a red flag right away. I thought, really? And then they wanted me to create a staggering amount of work in a very short time. They wanted me to create 7 YouTube videos. Well, there were videos that I was going to send to them for their platform. 7 in a week. So that would be like 1 video a day, which is impossible. They were supposed to be between a half an hour and an hour long. And not only that, but also send them sketches and drawings, like 10 of them per video. I thought, there's no way I can do that. If for anybody that is a content creator, we know the amount of work that goes into making a video. First, you have to come up with the idea. It has to be something original. then you have to record it, then you have to edit the video, put it all together. A video takes me at least 2 or 3 days, depending on the subject, sometimes a week. So it was like physically impossible, unless I work day and night, which is something that I don't want to do. And I told her, I said, well, that sounds very, sounds like an excessive amount of work. I don't think I can do that. I told her right away. I said, I don't think this is for me. But she was like, no. She's like, it'll be fine, don't worry, and da-di-da-di-da. And I said, listen, I have to think about this because I don't think I can do this, because they wanted to send me a contract right away. And I said, don't send me anything. I need to think about it, and I'll get back. And so anyways, we got off the Zoom interview, and I was thinking about it. So there was something that did not seem right. Well, the amount of work and the pay, I was like, what? How many students do they have to be able to pay the teachers such staggering salaries? And so I discussed it with my husband, with one of my friends, and everybody was like, oh, that doesn't seem, there's something here that doesn't seem right. So I thought, well, I'm going to send them an email. That night I thought about it. I'm like, no, there's no way I can do this. There's something not right in all of this. Okay, so my underpainting is done. I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes, and then I'm going to do the blocking of the colors. Okay, to block the colors, I'm going to use a sponge, and I'm going to use complementary colors. I'm going to use like a bluish gray on the hood, and the face is going to be maybe orangey. So I mix a blue gray here with blue, brown, and a little bit of white. And I'm just going to apply this, just a thin layer, so I can see the drawing underneath. Anyways, I'm going to continue with my story. Thought about it that after the interview, I thought about it that evening. I talked to my husband, I talked to some friends. If you have doubts about something, you think, oh, something strange here, always talk to people that you trust, because the scammers want you to keep all this secrecy, because someone might open your eyes and they don't want that. And anyways, I had lots of red flags anyways. I'm like, oh, I don't know, this sounds too weird. So I discussed with my husband, and people were like, I don't know, you're gonna have to work a lot. Is that what you want to do? And definitely not what I wanted to do, to work day and night. And I don't know, just the salary alone they were offering me was highly suspicious. Okay, I have brown and white. Just to do a bit of coloring here, I have to go very light because the white is very opaque, so I don't want to cover all my drawing. So I thought, I'm like, no, I'm going to decline this. I don't know, this just doesn't seem right. I'm gonna send her an email and decline. So I went into my computer the next day, and she had already sent me the contract, which I told her not to. Okay, I'm going to use a Q-tip, a damp Q-tip. It's just damp with a little bit of water, just to add some highlights. This is going to make it easier for me later on. Yeah, she had already sent me a contract, and I didn't even look at the contract, to be honest, because I had already made up my mind. And I sent her an email saying, you know what, I would love to work for your corporation, but I'm just randomly removing some paint here. Well, not randomly. This is going to be a rusty mask of some sort. Yeah, she had already sent me the contract, and yeah, sorry, I'm kind of losing track here because I'm painting at the same time. And I'm going to remove some paint from this cape that this mysterious person is wearing. Yeah, I didn't look at the contract because I already had made up my mind, and I thought there's something very strange here, and I replied to her saying, no, I thought about it. This is not for me. I would love to work for your corporation, but it has to be on my terms. I can only do what I can do. And they never replied back. Never. And it's interesting because they sounded so professional at first, the facade that they were putting, and then she didn't even reply to me, which is fine. I was spared probably a lot of heart grief with these scammers. And it's interesting because in time, time gives you all the answers, and all the questions that I had at first, like why me, why are they calling me, why do they want me there, it all makes sense now. And basically I think what they were looking is for artists that maybe they wanted to increase their visibility on YouTube, maybe they wanted to make money. Scammers look at people's vulnerabilities and they prey on that. So they probably thought, well, maybe she wants to make money, she wants to become famous artist or whatever. Basically, they prey on people's vulnerabilities. They are very astute, like predators. They see vulnerabilities on others and they prey on them for their own benefit, basically. They don't care about you. You're nothing to them. All the answers to all the questions I had became very clear to me in time, and I was so thankful that I walked away from that. And what do the scammers want? Well, they want a lot of stuff from you. They want personal information. They probably wanted a lot of personal information on the contract, like my bank information to deposit the amazing salary they were going to pay me. Maybe they wanted my insurance number, where I lived, who knows. And maybe they could have sued me for not fulfilling the outrageous demands that had in their contract. I don't know. I don't think they're that brilliant. I think basically they were looking for a lot of personal information, especially banking information and things like that, to basically steal your money, steal your identity, steal anything they can from you. This is my little story that I was able to step away from unharmed. Like I said, I had lots of scammers approach me through all sorts of platforms, And their scams are obvious, so pathetic. You can always see through them. They want to flatter you. They want to do anything they can. Oops, I'm just gonna remove this with a Q-tip. Yeah, they want to flatter you. They want to find out where you're vulnerable and prey on that so they can take advantage of you, basically. So what I'm doing now here is my first layer of paint. Kind of building the painting. There's all sorts of scams. The scammers have infiltrated themselves into every platform. Basically, it's a playground for them. And they're always fishing for victims. And victims will come. You know, they might contact 1,000 people, 2,000 people, I don't know. And eventually someone who's vulnerable will fall for it. The best way we can fight this is to knowledge, to know what's going on, be informed. That's part of why I'm doing this video today. If you have any scam stories, you can share them. On the description box below, if someone tried to scam you. There's so many scams. There's romance scams. There's crypto investments. People pretending to be someone who they are not. They steal other people's identities. They never look like the picture they sent you. And yeah, people that are vulnerable, that are lonely, they're desperate, they're looking for financial gains, they're trying to make some money or be recognized. They want to be loved. They want all these things which are normal. People want that, but the scammers basically prey on all of that. They are not there to love you, to take care of you. They just want anything they can take away from you. Anything. Information, money, social insurance. Okay, so I'm almost done the first layer of paint here. I'm gonna let this dry and go to my second layer. Okay, so I'm moving on with the painting, and I'm doing my second layer of paint now. Basically, I'm gonna try to add the effect of rust around here, just using orange. Yes, so talking about scammers and scams, unfortunately, they have weaved themselves into every single platform. And it's amazing how many people fall for this. The best way, I think, is to have knowledge, to know how these people operate, and to know, because we always get red flags. And if there's red flags, your intuition telling you there's something wrong in here. And listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut feeling. Your gut feeling is there to protect you, to save you. And sometimes we ignore it because we ignore the red flags. If it's too good to be true, it is not true, my friends. It is not true. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Be smart. Inform yourself. I know people that have been scammed and that they have lost a lot. At the end of the day, they end up feeling defeated, ashamed. A lot of people don't People don't go out and share because they feel ashamed of what happened. They feel dumb. So the best thing to prevent that is to inform yourself, to share with others what's going on, what the situation is. Don't give anybody any of your personal information, bank accounts, nothing. Nowadays it's hard to find out who's true and who's not, because I've worked with a few very legit companies that they have contacted me through my email, but the approach is different. What they tell you is realistic. They're not fishing for personal information. They are not pushy. There's no sense of urgency to sign the contract right now and do this right now and sign up with us now and send us what we request from you right away. There's nothing like that. And I always do my due diligence, looking up the companies, making sure the emails align with the company, research the people, maybe talk to other artists, YouTubers, if they have worked with this company, what's their experience like. And nowadays, more than ever, you have to do your due diligence. I have a few more stories to tell you about people trying to scam me. If you're interested in hearing other ones, let me know in the comments below. But I thought I'd share this one because this one is the one where they put definitely more effort into it. They were trying to sound super legit by setting up a Zoom interview, and like I said, the associate that interviewed me seemed to be a lovely young lady. Who knows, maybe she wasn't even aware of the company she was working for. I don't know, but scammers, they hide in anonymity. They are never who they tell you they are. They steal other people's profiles and they pretend they're someone that they are not. They have no desire to do you good. They want to take advantage of you and your innocence, and if you're naive, they don't care. They don't care about you. They just want to take anything and everything from you. But we have to be smart and discern, be very discerning on who you're talking to online. And even if they, like in my case, they even had a Zoom interview. Of course, the guy who had contacted me, I never met him in person. The guy that originally emailed me, I don't really know who he was. I just remember the girl. Okay, my friends, I'm going to let this be for now. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and I'm going to add the final details. Okay, I'm going to change this a little bit. It's always a good idea to step out from your painting and take a small break and then look at it again. And I'm going to change this area here. I want it to look more like a cloak than actual hair. The cloak of these guys. The cloak of these guys that the scammers use to trick people. So yeah, I decided to do this video this morning out of the blue, just to share with you something different than what I normally do. And like I tell you, I always sit here and I just paint. What you see me doing is what I do. I normally have an idea in mind. I'm going to be doing some Christmas tutorials for you soon. But I already have lots of tutorials on my channel. If you're interested, I'm going to put the link here to the playlist of my Christmas paintings. I have new ones coming. Some ideas on some new painting tutorials for Christmas time. Add some shadows in there. I'm going to use a fine liner brush just to do some minor details. I want to create the effect of rusting here in some areas. So yes, my friends, unfortunately, scammers have infiltrated themselves in every single platform. The internet is their playground. We have to be more aware of this. We have to be diligent, we have to be informed. Like I mentioned earlier, I've worked with legit companies, and their approach is totally different. Their emails are legit, the companies are legit, and you can verify that, or check in your art community, see if anybody has worked with them before, what was their experience like. And the bottom line is, if it's too good to be true, my friends, it's not true. Be strong. Don't let yourself be swayed away by lies that they give you. Don't share any personal information with anybody. Your passwords, bank account, nothing. And also the payment methods. A lot of them seem legit until you discuss payment methods, and they are very sketchy. You know, it's a scam. Don't do any work for anybody unless you have received at least 50% down payment. Okay, my friends, I think this is as far as I'm gonna go in this little painting. Just adding some final touches here. I'm going to be recording a video soon on how I handle commission paintings. That's another popular scam out there. Someone you don't even know wants to commission something from you on Instagram or Facebook. I'm going to share with you how I do it, how I handle commissions. But the truth is, I never do a commission to someone I don't know. I am very exclusive that way. Okay, my friends, so this is the final painting. You can read whatever you want into this creation I did today. So be smart, be aware, be informed. I have never been scammed, but I have lots of stories of people trying to scam me through the different platforms. If you want to hear more stories, please let me know on the comments below. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you learned something new. If you like this video, you know what to do. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.